Hi everyone. There was a technical issue, I believe. So am I audible to everyone now? Just give me a hands up, everyone, in case if it is available. Is my audios and my screen is everything available visible to everyone? Sorry for the inconvenience, I guess. Hi. Okay. Yeah, there was a tech issue. I guess I was not able to join the session, but I joined some another session at the same time. Sorry. So let's start a bit with introduction, I guess, since this is day one of our sessions, the complete API Python API automation sessions. So today, the first class, everyone is kind of excited to meet everyone. So let's start with the introduction one by one, in case if it is not a problem to everyone. So I'll start with myself. My name is Ashish Garg. I am working as a automation engineer since last many years in a MNC CMM5 level organization. I cannot reveal the name, so don't even ask. And I have my experience in Java. I have my experience in Python. I have my experience in performance testing, in automation testing, in manual testing, and so many other type of stuff. So yeah, let's start one by one with everyone. So the first person on my attendees list is Ankit Sharma. Ankit, are you able to hear me? Ankit Sharma, am I audible to you? Yeah. So Ankit, I am unmuting you for 2 minutes, and you can just give me a brief introduction about yourself, okay? So that everyone in the class knows everyone, so that it's a kind of interactive session, okay? So I unmuted you, Ankit.
Yeah,
So
sure. Hello everyone, myself Pankaj Sharma. I have 2 years of experience in the field of manual testings and a performance testing.
where
And
are you from, Ankit?
I am from Noida.
You're from Noida itself. Okay. Thank you, Ankit. We have Anurag. Anurag, am I audible to you? So, Anurag, am I audible? Just give me a brief text here so that I can go ahead. Okay. Ashwin, am I audible to you, Ashwin? Mm, you guys can just type it up here and send me hands up or something. No problem. There might be some issue. So uh, we have Daju, I believe. So Daju, am I audible to you? Sorry. No problem. Okay, so anyone whoever I'm audible with can just give me a brief introduction. Let's take it a random one. Okay, that's getting a bit bored. So who all of you were in the demo session as well? Praful, I remember you was available in the demo session, and Manoj, yeah, you was also there. Porush, Praveen, Ratan, yeah. Sorry, yeah, okay. Sorry. Okay. So anyone who has joined from out of India as well? Anyone out of the 15? Someone from overseas who has joined us? Okay, Hitesh, you were also there in the demo session, I guess. Okay, you are joining from overseas. Hitesh, from where are you joining us? Yeah, I remember. You're joining us from US. Anyone else out of Hitesh who has joined us from overseas, out of India? Okay, hi Guru. You was not in the demo session, no problem. You can um, have the recordings of my demo session, I guess. Just go through them once. In case if anything is unclear, I'm always available for you all of you guys for the next complete 2 months. You can ask me anything. Sorry. Guys, stay safe. It's um, a high alert all over the world. It's a epidemic going on, coronavirus. Stay safe, all of you. Stay at home. Yeah. Okay, so let's start. I guess it's enough for today. If we have missed the demo, is that something we need to catch up? Um, sorry. Hitesh, we are going to start from the basic itself completely. And in case if you just want to go for the demo session is a complete overview that we are going to cover in these 2 months. It is not important. You can be stick to this course also. We are going to start from the very basic. Yeah, probably we are going to start the course, start the session. Right. So guys, as we all know, we are here for API automation with Python. How many of you are aware of Python? Or and for how many? Okay, my first question is, how many of you who have joined here, Python is completely new. Python is completely from scratch. How many of you out of 15? So we have okay, we have a list completely. I'm new to Python. So many of you are completely new to Python. No, that's okay. And have you guys have gone through some any other language, or this is the very first programming language that you're going to come through? Because I want to know the base of the class I'm having, so that's why I'm asking you all these things. So you have done Java, okay, Java basics. I know Java, code Java with Selenium. Okay, Java with rest assured, basic knowledge in Java. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have Mohan who is going to be very new to programming languages. Okay, no problem. Okay, so everyone, the very first thing, you all guys can call me Ashish directly, and there's no need to call me sir or something. And in case if you guys have any questions or something, you can just directly ping me on the WhatsApp group or maybe directly on my personal WhatsApp number. Okay. Loita, you are also saying you have no programming language experience, no problem. We're gonna start it from scratch. You are in group. I believe yes. Yes, I am also in the group. Okay. So, guys, before starting with the session, let me tell you the structure that we are going to go for from. First of all, in the upcoming few weeks, we are going to learn Python. We're going to learn Python from basics, uh, from basics to the point we need it in the course. Okay. Once we are done with Python, we are going to start with something called Postman. Once we have done with Postman, we're going to start with Linux curl command. The fourth stuff we're going to have is Django setup for API, and the fifth thing that we're going to have is API automation with Python. So this will be the 4 or 5 different major milestones that we have to cover in the complete entire course. Python, then the Postman, then Linux, then Django setup, and then API automation. Okay. So today we are going to start with Python, the very basics, and once we have done with this, we move to the next one, and the chain will continue following. Okay. Anyone having any question in this? Some would like to suggest something or some. If you guys want to sorry, make yourself unmuted, just drop me a message. I'll unmute you. Okay. Okay, so we have few questions. How about data-driven and robot framework that will be covered in API automation with Python itself, Praful? Pawan, you have a question, might be out of context. Can I ask? Definitely, you can ask anything, Pawan. Ratan, which frameworks are in your automation? It's data-driven framework as well as the robot framework that we will cover here. Okay. And Manoj, it's PyTest, Allure, robot framework. Everything is going to be covered in API automation itself. Um, Hope we are going to do it with for Windows. Definitely, we're going to do it for Windows. Linux is a part of it that I will be explaining, which is important for you to be aware of when you're going to face an interview. That is why I said Linux. What is the group name? Which group, Ashwin? Is Django like Rest Assured? No, Django is not like Rest Assured. Django is a completely API building framework that we will cover. In that, we are going to create our own APIs so that we can uh, automate them only. Okay. Any other questions? Is the organization project practice? Yeah, we're going to cover all these things. So when you're signing, sorry, sir. Sorry, everyone. So, but when you're asking how important to learn Docker and Kubernetes for QA or SDIT, is it really required? Yes. Pawan, it is really required as a QA to learn all these things when you go at a high level. Whenever you go to a great position, all these things are actually came into picture, and this is what your all knowledge comes in. So yeah, definitely. Um, what do we call it? This is definitely required Docker, Kubernetes, and everything. Are you going to? Sorry. Are we going to use like a paint tool to show the audience how the code flows? No, we are going to use. Since we are already showing our screen, and I'll be explaining it using what do we call the PowerPoint whenever required. I'm going to use Mac. It is okay. Definitely it is. So guys, let's start. Let's not waste time. Let's start. These five milestones are clear to everyone. These are the way we are going to start here. Python, Postman, Linux. Okay, we have one more question, I guess. Do you have documents? Are they necessarily required? I don't think so. You guys can note down everything since all these lectures are already recorded. Still, if you want, you can note it down, but I do not have any documents as of now. Okay, so let's start with Python. Yeah. So in here, Python also. Okay. So guys, what do you guys know about Python? What is Python? For Linux, we use VM. No, I have a Linux machine. I will be showing you in that itself. Or we can use a VM also. That completely depends. When we will come to that point, that's a later stage. Okay, Praveen? Yeah. So guys, what you guys know about Python? Can anyone tell me what exactly you guys know? What is Python? Why is it used? Advantages, disadvantages? You guys must have done a kind of homework before joining this session, I believe. Yes. What can Python do? And something. It is a scripting language. Okay. Yeah. So guys, Python was developed in the year called 1991. It was developed by somebody called Guido van Rossum. This was the person who was great, into developing Python itself. So this person gifted us something great to the society, which was called the programming language Python. What it is used for? It is used for web development. It is used for software development. Third, it is used for mathematics, majorly AI, which we called it as maths, I'll say here. And fourth is majorly used for system scripting. Okay. So web development, we all know nowadays many websites are completely developed in Python itself. Software development as a backend also. Web development, we can say it is a kind of the UI that we give. and a backend which is completely developed in Python also. Next, we have math, which includes your AI technologies and all these things. Next, we have system scripting. System scripting is writing shell scripts and all these stuff. So we'll come to them later, one by one, what all these things are for. Sorry, just a second. Sorry. Um, why? So in the demo session, we discussed few important points. If you guys remember, uh, about Python. So the first point was Python is a general purpose language. I'm going to start it from the basics. General purpose language. Since you have joined, how many guys have installed PyCharm and Python in their laptops? Anyone? I asked every one of you who were in there in the demo session to install them. I showed you how to do this, and how many of you have actually done that? Installed, done here, installed. That is great. I have installed PyCharm. Great. So simply open your PyCharm, guys. I'll show you these things. Installed but not yet used. No problem. I believe Python is already installed in everyone's laptop, right? Sorry. So you can just simply open your command prompt. Everyone on their screens. Uh, PyCharm is all getting open. Still that. For those who are not having PyCharm, do not worry. If you guys have Python installed in your system, you guys can completely do the same stuff that we're going to do here. In case, one more important thing, if you have downloaded Python yet, how can you do that? Just go to the official website of Python. You can simply write download Python. Um, just go to their official website, and once you land it here, you can download Python 3.8.2 and follow some steps. Just install the stuff, restart your PC, and Python is all yours. Okay, so we have PyCharm. Let's come back here. So for those who are not having PyCharm, not a great problem. Just if you have Python, just follow these steps. Right now, if you guys simply type here Python and press enter, a Python interpreter is executed. Now you can write your Python script here itself, execute it directly. So the first thing that I was saying is, I was saying is Python is general purpose, right? So let me say a equal to 25, and let me simply print a. Okay, with Python 3, print a, it is printing. Now, if you guys see what exactly I mean by the term general purpose means this language can do anything inside a single in a single window. If you compare it with other languages like Java or something, where you can only execute things using classes and objects, Python says no, it is not at all required. You can execute a simple code also without classes and objects. Without using object-oriented programming also, you can implement your code. You can also club object-oriented programming along with a general code in a single file. That is why it is called general purpose language. Okay. Papan, you're saying I'm using 2.7. Is that fine? I heard they're going to stop the support 2.7 in next few months. Pavan, that has already been stopped. Support ended in the month. I'll say support was ended in the last month, or it is going to end by the April. You can switch to Python 3. That is a great version which is going on nowadays. 2.7 is also good, but 3 is better. So you can install Python 3 also. Okay, great. So guys, as you can see, let me show you the same in PyCharm also. Let me create, right click, new Python file. I'm saying day one Now, guys, if you see, if I'm saying Python is general purpose, I have duality. Great. So Python is general purpose. That means I am going to write my simple code a equal to 10, print a, I'll say a, and here I'm saying I'm defining a function. I'll explain it to you. What is this? Test a, print I am in function. I'll say class ab. Let me say print I am in class. Now let's simply say obj equal to ab. Yeah. So now what I have done, this line of code, guys, pay attention. This line of code is simply a general code which is simply written in a single Python file. This line of code is a function. I'll explain it to you what is a function for those who have already knowing any of programming language like Java. I guess it is clear to them. This is a simple function which I have written in the same code in the same language. This is a class which I have also clubbed in the same file. Okay, now if I execute this file, all these three things are working properly. It says 10, prints 10, then since I created an object, so it says hi, I am in class. So that what I want to explain it to you with this help of this example is Python is a general purpose language. It is not mandatory here that you have to only use class to perform all the operations as like it is in Java. You can perform the same operation without Java also. Okay. Can you zoom in your screen? Can you increase text size? Let me see if we have an option for this too. Just give me a second, guys. I'm pausing the screen for a bit. Just give me a second. Till that point of time, you guys can simply Ritesh, center button or zoom button. There center button. Where is the anyone who can see the zoom button here? Is this what are you talking about? No, it's the search icon. Just give me a second. Let me see where I can do this for. No, I don't think there is a setting or something that might be an easy task. Just give me a second. Um, so here we can do this. What is object? I know, Guru, I was expecting this question. I'll explain it to you when we come to object-oriented programming. Don't worry as of now. So we have settings here. Okay, we can do settings. There's an editor, and in this editor, change font size, I believe, is an option. Mm, so let me make the size as of now to 20, or let me make it 25. This is more visible. Okay. Is the code visible to everyone now? I guess. Is it visible? Yeah, I know, Ashwin, the value of test A is not visible because I'm not printed it. I just wanted to show you guys. Let's make it to 18. Okay. Yeah, it is okay now. So is the code visible to everyone now? Yes. So guys, is the first point that I want to make you guys clear is clear that Python is a general purpose language. Any questions in this thing? Anyone is having any questions in this? Guru, I know you have raised a question. What is object? I'll explain it to you today. I'll be discussing object-oriented programming. As of now, just forget it. Forget about it. There's nothing like object. Just focus on print statements. Python is a language which allows you to go do everything. Okay, that is why it is called a general purpose language. Okay. We have discussed few more characteristics like Python is interpreting in nature. Now, what is the term interpreting means, guys? What does the term interpreter means? What does the term interpreter means? So see, what does the term interpreter is? We have two types of executors. We have two types of executors which executes our code. The first one is a compiler. The first one is a compiler. Second one is a interpreter. Now, what is the basic difference? The first one, what happens? The first one is responsible. This is responsible for giving you all the errors in a single go. It means if you have written a code of 100 lines, so compiler will compile all these 100 lines together, and as a result, it will say you have an error in line number 2, you have an error in line number 5, and line number 10, and so on. So compiler is responsible for this stuff. On the second hand, interpreter is responsible for giving the error at the same time. So Python says I am not a type of a language which will execute all the code and then will give you all the list of errors. It says I'll stop executing the code on the point I'll be receiving an error. I'll not execute the code after that, but the point I'll be receiving an error. Let me show you with the help of an example. Okay, so we have line by line execution, run one by one, correct answers written. Okay, some error in line definitely. It will execute until done. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Ankit, you have something. And if we found any mistake in code, it will not run up that part. Rest it will run. Yes, exactly. So that is what I want to show you. Now, in case, right, let me say print. I'm just printing a statement. Hi, this is A. Then I'm saying print, let's say 200 divided by A, B, C, D. Then I'm saying print welcome again. So now what will happen? I want only Guru to answer me this question. No one else should answer this question to me. Only Guru should answer me this question. Guru, as you can see the code which is visible to you, what do you think will happen now? Just apply some basic common sense and nothing programming, nothing else. Just apply your basics and tell me what do you think will happen at which line. Guru, are you there? It will execute first line, correct? It will execute first line and the output generated will be hi, this is A. The next thing it will do is, go ahead, it will show the error at point number 2. Why will it show you the error at point number 2, Guru? The reason? What could be the reason that it will not execute it after line number 2? Because it's integer by string, definitely. Purush, okay, as I mentioned earlier also, interpreter is a type of a language which says the point it receives an error, it stops an execution. So the point it receives error was line number 2, and it stops its execution for line number 3. So it does not print line number 3, but it stops the point where it receives its error. Let me show you by executing it. Let me just go to right click, run day 1. So it says, let me expand it. So it says it executes line number one, which is hi, this is A. It executes line number one. On line number two, it says unsupported operand types for division. It says I cannot divide an integer and a string. I cannot divide a word, a character with a number. And that is correct. And it stopped its execution and it is not executing it ahead. So that is what interpreter is. But if I say a compiler at this point, compiler will execute the complete code and say, boss, you have an error at line number two, line number five, and so on. So that is a basic difference between interpreter and compiler. Is this clear to everyone available here? Is this difference clear to everyone? In case if you guys have any questions, a very basic question, you can be very straightforward to be asked me. Is this concept clear to you, Paurush? You mean this code was being executed in compiler, then we won't see any output, but we'll see errors. Yes, exactly. That is what I want to say, Paurush. In case of a compiler, we're not going to get any output unless or until we're going to resolve all the available errors on the sheet. It will only show me errors, but on case of interpreter, it will execute my code to the point I'm receiving any error. Is it clear? So Python do not have a compiler. No, Python is completely interpreting language. Okay, right. We have one more third, a very important point, which is called Python is dynamic in nature. What does the steel term means, guys? Python is dynamic in nature. Anyone? This question is raised for everyone. What does the term Python is dynamic in nature means? No need to define data type. Correct. Anyone else? Can be used as scripting or programming language. A nice concept, Anurag, but it's rare. This is something different. It decides a variable type during execution. Correct. So let's come to the example here again. Let's come to the example again. Now here, when I say a equal to 10, in other languages like Java, C, C++, JavaScript, and all these types of languages, we need to define the type of variable we are using before assigning a value to it. Before assigning a value to it. So that which, yeah, dynamic memory allocation, correct. So what I want to explain here by the term is Python is dynamic in nature is Python does not need to tell you as a user you do not need to tell Python, boss, A is a type of a keyword or a word which only allows integer variables to be stored. No. In case of A, if I'm storing 10, it says, okay, I'll say it's an integer. If I say B is B equal to welcome, it says, okay, boss, I know what B is. And if I say C equal to 10.1, it says, okay, no problem. I know what is A, I know what is B, I know what is C. Now, how can I tell you what is ABC? We can use something called type. Let me show you. If I say, Python, tell me the type of A. Print, tell me the type of B, and tell me the type of C. Let me execute it. And it says, okay, it says the first one was A. It says A is storing some value which is of integer type. Yes, this is an integer type value. It says B is storing a value of string type. Yes, this is storing a value which is in characters. And C, it says it is a value which is of float type. Float means decimal values. And yes, it says C is a value which contains float type of data. So this is what I need not to define the data types of these variables before executing them. That is why I say Python is dynamic in nature. Okay. Can I reassign a variable to string? We should try this, Pavan. Let's see what happens. If I say C is equal to 10.1, the next moment I say C equal to Pavan, save it, execute it, and it says integer, string, and string. So I hope you got your answer. We can definitely reassign a value in a variable. Okay. Any question to anyone to understand what is dynamic and what is static? The difference why I am saying Python is dynamic in nature, is this point clear to everyone? C was expected to be float, yes, but we reassigned the value of C to string, so it says now C is a string. Okay. Guru, is this clear to you also? That Python is dynamic in nature. We do not need to define the type of data that we're going to use in the variable. Yes, I'll come to variables also. Okay. Okay, great. So these were the three major important points I was willing to discuss before starting Python. Now let's start with the very first topic in here, which is called variables. Which is called variables. Let's start with it. So Ashish, we would not have the concept of typecasting as we do in Java and Python. We have a concept of typecasting here in Ashwin. I'll come to that in today's lecture only in the next few minutes. Okay, I'll explain to you at that point of time. Manoj, it's considering only current variable type. Yes, it's considering the last variable type. But that was the last assigned value to the variable. So in the given example, the last assigned value for C was string, so it printed string. Okay. So let's come back. I was explaining you about Python variables. What are variables? So those who already know about different types of languages, can anyone want to throw some light on what are variables, etc., etc.? If anyone wants to throw some light on them before we started, you are saying integer. Manoj, these are data types, I guess. I'm asking you what is a variable. Variables are used to store values of any type. Yes. So guys, variables are actually containers for storing values. Okay, I'll repeat myself. Variables are containers. Variables, I can say, are containers that are used to store a value. Now, everyone at home might have a container in which you guys store something. Similarly, in programming languages, a variable is having a similar role. This is a type of a container which is used to store a value. As in the given example, A is a variable which is storing a value. A is a variable which is storing the value 10. B is a variable which is storing the value welcome. C is a variable which is storing a value 10.1. Okay, yeah, we have something. It's just a memory block which holds reference to the data. Yes, and more technically, if I say Pavan, so that is correct. In more technical keywords, this is the type of a memory block which is used to refer a given data in the memory. Okay. Mm, so normally in other programming languages, we have different types of commands to declare a variable, but in Python, not at all. We can declare a variable is created at the moment you first assign a value to it. In a more simpler word, I repeat, a variable is created the moment you first assign a value to it. So if, let me explain it in the technical terms. More technically, if we go in deeper, we have a memory block, suppose. We have a memory block. Now in this memory block, we have multiple different sections. So let's take the first section was here. The next section was here, 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 and here. And similarly, in the above example, I'm dividing my memory blocks. So I want to explain you. This is a section in the memory. This one. This is another section in the memory. This is another section, and so on. The memory block continues. Now in this section of the memory, I have a value. I have a value 10. I have a value 10. In this memory block section, I have a value 30. In this memory block, I have a value 40. Suppose here I have a value A, B, C, G, C, something, and so on. So these are specific memory blocks which contains different values. This is a memory block which contains different values and so on. So if we say what is a variable is nothing but a container that is responsible to refer this block, which is responsible to refer this block. Is this concept clear? So I'm just saying BCDC is stored inside a variable A, 40 is stored inside a variable 2, B, 30 is stored inside a variable C, and so on. So is this clear what exactly a variable is, guys? Is this clear? Just keep on responding me so that I know everyone is here. No one is getting bored or something. In case if you guys get bored, just update me. I'll crack some jokes. Mhm. So the next thing we all know is Python. No, it says variable do not need to be declared. Praveen, what I want to repeat the concept. You want me to repeat the concept again? Okay, no problem. Let me try to do this using Paint. For the first time, I'm going to use Paint here. Yeah, just give me a second. So here we have, sorry. So I'm trying to make some different memory blocks. So guys, don't laugh here. I'm bad at drawings. Okay. Now let me say 20, and here it is again 30. I'm saying A B C D. I'm saying 10 20.1, and I'm saying true, and so on. So these are the different types of memory blocks which are available with us. Now these memory blocks are having some stored value. These memory blocks are having some stored value. This memory block, this memory block might have a value, is having a value of 20. This is having a value of 30. This is having a value ABCD, and so on. There are millions of different memory blocks available with us. What exactly variables does? Variable says, boss, I cannot remember the address since this is a memory, so this is definitely going to have an address of some memory address. This is going to have a memory address. This is going to have a memory address, and so on. Every different block is going to have a different memory address, but as a human, we cannot know memorize these memory address at every time. So what a variable says? Variable says no problem. Just simply give a different name to this memory block. Just give a different name to this memory block. Give this a name A. Give this name. Give this a name as B, and so on. So in technical terms, I can say variables are are something which are required to refer the memory blocks. Variables are keyword. Variables are, you can say, containers which are required to refer your memory blocks, stored value in the memory block, more specifically. Is it clear this time, Praveen? Is this clear this time? Yes, Rathan, it definitely have its own data types. We are going to come that in the later stage. We are going to come here. Suppose A equal to 10, B equal to 10, then A and B should be referred same memory block but different. They are going to be definitely given a different block, Manoj. They are going to given different memory blocks that will be not same because you yourself saying A and B are two different types of variables. So they will be referring to different memory blocks in the memory. You can go very deep in heap memories, stack memories, and all this stuff, but that is not of use as of now in this course. Otherwise, I would have covered it. Okay. So this is this concept clear to everyone? What are variables more technically and in the layman language itself? So I can simply say variables. The next step that we all know about variables is they do not need to declare any specific type. We can change them after getting means if we have set a variable type to integer, we can change it to string also, as we have seen in this example. It was earlier float, but um, now it is a string. So we can change the type of the variable also. Um, we have some golden rules. We have some golden rules to define variables. We have some golden rules to define variables. The first golden rule which is set to define a variable is a variable name must start with a letter or underscore character. So it allows only us, a variable is only allowed to be named with these following rules. The first rule says a variable name must start with a letter or a underscore character. So as I also given an example, the variable name starts with the letter, or we can also start a variable name using underscore. Okay, let me save it and execute it one more time without any problem. Okay, it says name B is not defined. Yes, name B is not defined. Let me execute it again. Without any problem, it is executed completely. It shows me the types. Now, what if in case if I say print start a variable with a name with a digit? The moment I type a digit here, it says statement seems to have no effect. End of statement expected. It means it is not allowed here. If I execute it, if I try to execute it, it says invalid syntax. Invalid syntax. I'm not allowed to define any variable with the starting of digit or any special character or any special character. I can only define a variable either by a letter, a capital letter, or a small letter, or a underscore. I cannot define it using an integer, number. That is what my second point comes for. A variable name cannot start with a number. A variable name cannot start with a number. Third point that comes into the picture, which says a variable name can only contain alpha numeric characters and underscores. Yeah. So I can only define a variable which is alphanumeric in nature and which is containing underscores. The last point that is here, I'll show you some valid and invalid types of variables also. Last time is variables are case sensitive. This is a very important thing. So let's come here back and try to give some legal and illegal variable names. So I'm going to ask you guys which variable name is legal and which variable name is illegal. So the first name that comes here is my variable 1 equal to 10, print my var 1. So guys, is this a legal variable? My var. Guru, you're asking me, as Python is an interpreted language, it should be able to print a write. Yes, it will be going to print a write statement, but still we should be aware of legal and illegal variable names. In case if someone asks us, we should be knowing what is a legal name and what is an illegal name. So since I said it is an alphanumeric character, this comes into point number 3. A variable name can contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. So definitely it is a legal name. Similarly, if I say my variable is this equal to 20 and print the above statement. So is this again a legal name, guys? Is this again a legal name? Guru, is this a legal name? My underscore var underscore is this. Is this a legal name, Guru? Are you able to get it? Okay, why are you not sure? Why are you not sure, Guru? As I already mentioned in my rules, as I already mentioned inside my rules, a variable name can contain alphanumeric. What does the term alphanumeric means? Alphanumeric means it can contain alphabet, all my 26 alphabets in the dictionary, plus all my numbers, which is 0 to 9, inside a variable, and can also contain underscores. The only difference is I cannot start a variable with a numeric number. The only thing is I cannot start a variable with a numeric number. That is the only difference. Okay. So after knowing this, what do you think about this? Is this a valid name? My underscore var underscore is this. Ashwin, you're asking, do we need to follow camel casing when declaring variables? Or is there any standard when declaring variables? Normally, in all the programming languages, camel casing is common, and we follow camel or Pascal depending upon the needs of the projects. But camel casing is more obvious, I guess. That is more common. Okay, Guru, correct. Now, Guru, I'm going to ask you one more important question. My var1 is 2 equal to 30. Guru, is this a valid name? Is this a valid name, Guru? This time? Yes. Okay, guys, one more last one. I'm saying my var equal to 40. Is this a valid name, guys? And if not, why? If not, then why? Why not valid, Purus and Manoj? Why is it not valid? No space, no spaces. Yes. Guru, is this clear to you? I cannot define a variable with spaces. I cannot define a variable with spaces, but definitely an underscore. But definitely an underscore. Okay, so guys, these were different types of, what do we say, legal and illegal variable names. Okay, the next important thing that comes in variable is Python variables are very mature, you can say. These can assign values to multiple variables at a single time. What does the term means? Let me show you an example. If I say a is a variable, b is a variable, and c is a variable, and I'm saying these are having values as orange, print a, print b, and print c. So guys, what will be the output for a, b, and c? What do you think? Will the value for orange only be given to a, or will it be given to b, or will it be given to c? Which one? So Pawan, you were saying the output will be orange, but for which one? For A, B, or C? It will be given to all. Now, if I execute it, it says value error. It says value error. Too many values to unpack. Too many values to unpack. What does this means? It means, okay, I have an you need to give triple equal to. Okay, so you think will that work for me? Let's try that, Pawan. Let's try that. If that works, you are saying something like this. This is not allowed. There is nothing existing like this. So guys, in Python, I cannot define three different variables with a single value like this, but with three different statements, I can do that. Means a equal to o, b equal to o, c equal to o. Now if I execute it, it's against, okay, let me comment it, the first line. Now let me execute it again. It says o, and o. Okay. Yeah. So what I want to explain it to you guys, I cannot define something like this. This gives me a value error. But what? If I say? But what if I say orange, banana, apple? Now what will I get in ABC? What will I get in ABC? Guys, I hope you guys are replicating all these things inside your laptops as well, because that will make your life easier. Now what will I get the output as? What will be the output, guys? What will be the output? Orange, banana, and apple. Let's execute it. Orange, apple, and orange, banana, and apple. So the value for A is given to orange. Value for B is given to banana, and C is given for apple. In this way, you can assign multiple values in multiple variables. Is this concept clear to everyone? The number of variables I am having comma separated should be equal to the number of values I am having comma separated. If the scenario is equal, now in this case it's not important, I have to only give strings. I can here give 13, I can here give a floating point number which is 12.1. Now if I execute it, now my values changes accordingly. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Now my question comes back. Now how will I replicate, how to solve this scenario? I understood now that how can I give multiple values to multiple variables, but how will I resolve this thing that I want to give the same value to multiple variables? Any suggestions? So Purush, you're saying, is there any benefit in assigning values like this? Sometimes it is, yes. The first thing is it's small. No, it's simply just a second, guys. There's a session. Yeah, sorry. So as I said, the first thing is it reduces the lines of code. That is a very important thing, that when you come for a project and you show your project to your managers, so the first thing that he says is reduce the number of codes and optimize it as much as possible, because that has to be sent to client, and client always wants less code, more stability. So the most important thing is you should always execute it like them to reduce the lines of code. That's it. You're saying A, B, C, orange, orange, orange. Okay, appreciate it. Anything else anyone want to give in? I guess we have an answer before. Okay. Anyone wants to hop some more information here? How can I resolve this scenario? How can I give a single value to multiple variables? How can I give a single value to multiple variables? Okay, output not coming. It is showing me the error, correct? Yes. Yes, Purush, you are more correct. Let's come back. If I say instead of commas, A is equal to B, which is equals to C, which is equals to orange. Let's run this, and it assigns the same value to all these three variables. It assigns the same value for all these three variables. Now, is this clear to everyone's concept? How can I assign a single value to multiple variables? How can I assign different values to multiple variables in a single line? In a single line. Is this clear to everyone? Is this thing clear to everyone? So that we can move ahead. Guru, is this concept clear to you? Guru, is the concept clear to you? Okay. The next thing is the magic of the print keyword. Sometimes what happens? Let's see. Now I want to print a statement. I want to print a statement. Let me say A equals way to automation. I want to print hey, and then I want to give the username welcome here. Okay. Now instead of username, I want to give the value for A. Instead of username, I want to give the value for A. How can I do that? Anyone wants to give some inputs? How can I use the value A instead of username? Or let's make it more easier initially. Let's make it more easier in the first phase. Let me say simply hey and the username. Hey and the username. What should I do? So you can say hey plus a plus welcome here. Besides the welcome text, place a comma and write variable. In Java, we can use concatenation for this. Concatenate plus a, correct. Comma a. Let's see. So if I say hey plus a plus a, let's see what happens. Let's execute it. It says hey wait automation. Correct. Okay. Now what is if I say hey comma a? Let's execute this also. It again says me hey wait automation. Now what? Now the next thing was you guys are saying add concatenation. Let's see. A plus plus mm, welcome. If I execute it, and this also works. A way to automation, welcome. So what I want to say you, this what does this thing mean? This means output variables. In case if you want to show these variables as an output to someone, you can do the same using three different ways. The first thing is called concatenation. I'll explain it more when we'll be dealing with strings. This is called concatenation, which means I want to add. This means after this text, always remember guys, print statement normally whatever you want to show to the user is as a string that is always wrapped inside a double inverted comma. So it says a string. Now in case if I want to add an integer or I want to add any value, I can simply write comma and add the value. If I execute it, all these two things are printed. So the first thing it prints is whatever I write inside these brackets, inside these inverted commas, and the next thing it prints is a. This was a scenario in which you have the value you want to print directly. If this was a scenario in which you want to print the value in between of two different strings. So you can do that in that way. Okay, this is clear to everyone. This is a very basic thing. I hope everyone is aware about it already in different languages. But for those who are new to programming languages, I believe this is also clear to them also. Guru, is this concept clear to you and others? We can also we'll deal more detailing about this when we'll be dealing with strings. As of now, we are just going with variables parts. Now, what if I say x equal to Ashish, y equal to Garg, print print x plus y. Now, what will be the output, guys? What will be the output if I print x plus y? What will happen? It prints Ashish Garg. Let's execute it. Yes, it prints Ashish Garg. Yeah, it prints AG. Huh? Okay, great, great. So we can also do something like this in case if we want to. Now, what if I want to do something like, let me alter there itself. B equal to 3, D equal to 4. This is going to be interesting. Print B plus D. Okay, guys, output. Output for the third one. Output for the third one. 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. Ratan says 7. Guru, what's your output on this? Yes, Ashwin, that is a property. That is the property that it will dynamically do the operation based on the variable because it dynamically takes the type of the variable. What is the output for you, Guru? 34. Why 34, guys? We have so many 34s, but Purush and one more person said 7. Ratan. So, guys, look carefully. We have defined uh, characters. These things are binded inside strings. These things are binded inside double inverted commas. Hence, these will work as characters, and we cannot add different characters. Let me show you the output. The output is 3, 4. If in case if I say 3 and 4, now if I print the output, it says 7. Is it clear? No, Manoj, it's not an yeah. Clear? Is it clear to everyone? Purush, is it clear to you? Is it clear to you? The way we are writing Ashi, the way we are writing that, since these are characters inside double inverted commas, in a similar fashion, anything inside a double inverted comma works as a string, which cannot be added or subtracted, and we cannot do any operation, but we can only concatenate them. Okay? Okay? Let's have one more interesting example. F equal to 5, G equal to power, let's say. Print F plus G. Output, guys, come on, be fast. How single inverted comma is also treated as string? I'll come to that. That is the syntax, I believe. So let's have an output, guys. 5 per 1, 5 per 1, 5 per 1. Purush, you are saying the error. The reason for error, Purush, please mention that as well. Praveen, you are saying 5 per 1. Ashwin, you say error. Pavan, you say error. The reason is, can you guys also give me the reason for I cannot have error? Why I am having error? You are saying because we are using plus between an integer and a string. Yes. Guys, be careful. This is an integer and this is a string. How can I concatenate them? How can I add them? I cannot add 5 in Pavan, right? I can always perform the plus operation on same type of data. If I have same type of data, only in that case we can perform the plus operation. Otherwise, I cannot. Now, if I run this, it says unsupported operand for plus. It says integer and string. It cannot add. It cannot add integer and strings. Okay. Yes, we cannot add integer to string because it is trying. Yes, we need to convert any one of them. Yes, Manoj, we can do that using typecasting. That will come a bit later. Is this clear? That why was the output not 5 Pavan, but the output is an error? Because I can always perform the operation with same type of operands. With same type of operands. If you guys remember in class 5 or 1, we used to be taught there is an operand, there is an operand, then we have something called operator, then we have something called operand. For example, 3 plus 4. So these two operands between an operator, between we have an operator should be of same type. Is this clear? Convert it to string and add. Yeah, we'll do that. But as of now, is this clear? What does the word means? How we cannot add this? Guru, is this concept clear to you also? And everyone? Okay. Let's come to the next topic. How many of you have heard of the term global and local variables? If yes, then please tell me the difference as well. Global and local variables to all those who have kind of knowledge in other programming languages. What is a global and what is a local variable? Global variables are valid and in their own limit, like class function. Okay, correct. Outside methods, it's global, but global can be utilized outside of a class or a function. Okay, and methods. A global variable has its scope throughout the class, whereas the local would be constrained to the method function, correct? Local variables uh, cannot be called out inside method, correct? Cannot be called outside the method, okay. Global is used for all the variables, whereas local variables are only for only one variable that, but local is powerful than global. Global variables can be accessed across the class, whereas local variables is constrained to method or function. Okay, okay, okay. I got all the answers. You guys are great. Let's have the same using an example. I have a variable a which is called awesome. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Okay, now let's make a function. To those who do not know what a function is, don't panic. We'll discuss this later. Let me name this as automation. My automation. Print Python is an language. Python is an awesome language. That is what I want to print. Let me call this function. Okay, what will be the output, guys? What will be the output? Anyone? To those who are not aware of what functions are a block of code given a name in a brief nutshell. I have a block of code. I have given this block of code a name which is called my automation. And whenever I call this my automation, all the mentioned block of code starts getting executed. Okay. So what will be the output, guys? Python is an awesome language. Python is an awesome language. Let's try to execute it. It says Python is an awesome language. Correct. So what do you guys think in this case? A was. What do you guys think in this case? A was. Is a local variable or is a global variable? First of all, let me give you a brief definition. Variables that are created outside of a function are known as global variables. Variables which are created outside of a function, which are created out. This is a function, and a variable which is created outside of a function is called a global variable, and a local variable is a kind of opposite thing. Okay, and or one more important characteristic of a global variable is they can be used by everyone, both inside the function and outside the function. Okay, global here, global here, global here. Correct. So is this clear to everyone? Just a brief important thing that A is a global variable here, and let's move to the next important thing. One more important information to note it, that is if you create a variable with same name inside a function. Let's see what happens. Let's see. I'm saying, tell me the output now. There's a um now guys, give me the output. Now give me the output, guys. What will be the output? Come on. What is DEF? I'll explain it to you. Python is a dynamic language. Let's execute it. It says Python is a dynamic language. Guru, what is DEF? Don't get panicked here. I'll explain it to you in the later classes. What is DEF? This is the syntax to define a function. To define a function, we use DEF. That is the only thing. This is a inbuilt keyword. We'll come to keywords also. Okay. Um, it replaces y colon at the end of the function. That is the syntax again, Ratan. I'll explain it to you when we'll be discussing functions. Don't focus on the function, guys. I was not just focus on the functionality that I want you all to get focused on. Okay. Just a request, please don't introduce new concept when we are not learning it now. It was just because I was explaining it using the help of an example. But still, I agree with your statement, Hitesh. I'll not try not explaining it with the help of same stuff. So okay, then we'll discuss global and local variables kind of later. No, not a problem, because that was an option. Okay, let me give you a basic layman example. So everyone goes for an exam, right? I'm explaining it with the help of an example. Normally, each one of us goes for an exam most commonly, right? Now in the exam, we have something called question paper. We have something called question paper, right? All of us have the same question paper. All of us have the same question paper, but a original version is with the teacher. What do I mean by the term original version? We normally get a photostat of the question paper when we're dealing with an exam, but the original version that was created stays with the teacher itself, right? Correct? So in that case, in case a student like me changes something in my question paper. So when I'm changing something in my question paper, will it be reflected to any other's question paper? Or in case if any other XYZ person changes something in their own question papers, will that be reflected in my question paper? No, right? The answer is no, right? So in the similar fashion, variables which are used for a specific scope. Here in this example, my question paper was only limited to my scope. It was only limited to me. Whatever changes I want to make, I can make inside my own question paper, but this will not affect the outer world at all, right? So in case of technical language, in case of variables, variables are something similar. Local variables are variables which are allowed to do whatever they want to, but inside their own world, inside their own scope, inside their own limitations, which will not affect the outer world, which will not affect the other versions of the code, which will not affect any other functionality of the code, right? But but what in case what in case the teacher does something different in his own original question paper? The teacher adds one more question in the original question paper, and the question paper is replicated to everywhere. And the question paper is replicated to everywhere, right? Now, if there is a change in the original question paper, if there is a change in the global variable, if there is a change in the global variable, the change goes in the complete classroom. The change executes in the complete classroom. It affects each and every function. It affects each and every student of us. Okay, so that is a global variable which when changed whenever changed changes in a completely global fashion everywhere. But when I change a local variable, when I what do a change in the local variable, it only gets its own executions inside its own limitation. Is this clear to everyone? What is the difference between global variable and local variable? Was I be able to enough understandable to you guys? That local variables are variables. Yeah, Manoj, is it not clear to you? Local variables are the variables which are actually is it not clear or is it clear? Okay, so local variables, guys, again, local variables are variables which are only allowed to get change in their own limitations, and they do not affect any other variable outside their scope. They execute in their own scope, execute in their own limitation, in their own boundaries. But on the second hand, when I say global variable, they're available for the complete entire project, for the complete entire module. That is what a global variable is called about. Guru, is this concept clear to you? Is this concept clear to you, Guru? What is the local variable and what is the global variable? So is this clear to everyone? Everyone available here? So that we can move ahead. Yeah. So yeah, this is what was about variables in a nutshell. Now the next important thing that we have to discuss is something called data types. Something called data types. Okay, what are data types, guys? Anyone want to tell me something? What are data types and all these things? Anyone? So we have Sachin with us. Hi, actually, because of some reason, I am leaving for today. Joined late. I'm not able to concentrate. No problem, Sachin. Just once the lecture ends, go through the complete recording once more at your own end, and you can leave for the day. No problem. And in case if you guys have any problems, Sachin, you can just directly ping me on the group, and I'll answer you there. Okay. Okay. Right. So Hitesh, you are saying int string used to define the type of data. What does the word means? Data types. What does the word means? Data types. In common English, if I say variable holds data type, data of same type. It defines the attribute of the type of the variable. Okay. Okay. Let's start. Let's see. So guys, data types, I'll say variables can store data of multiple types. all these multiple types are responsible for multiple things, right? As I already mentioned, variables can store data of multiple types. If I go back to my pie chart, if I write here a equal to high, if I write here b equal to 10, if I write here c equal to 40.1, if I write here d equal to true, okay, or something like this. If I write these three types of different data, since these are different types of data, this is a decimal data, this is an integer data, and this is a string data. So as my line says, a variable can store data of multiple types, correct? All these multiple types of data are responsible for multiple types of things. We'll expand this second line in a bit. As of now, Python has following inbuilt data types of data types. Let's see what types of data types does it have. The first one is text type. The first one is text type. What does it mean by the term text? Text is simply whatever we write, whatever we write in normal language and inside inverted commas. So for that, it has something called str. For that, it has something called str, which is which has a full form of string, which is declared inside double inverted commas. As an example, if I say Ashish, Ashish is a text. This is of type string, which has inverted commas with among it. So that is a type of string. That is a text type of data type. Okay. The second type of data type we have is a numeric type of data type. Numeric type. What do we all have in numeric? We have integer, we have float, and we have complex. We have complex. As we all know, integer is an example. I can say 2. 2 is an integer number. Float means decimal numbers. Float means decimal numbers. As an example, I can say 2.4. 2.4 is a decimal number. What are complex numbers, guys? What are complex numbers? Anyone who is good in mathematics? What are complex numbers? Any example of a complex number? Anyone? A plus bj. We have 1 plus 2j, correct. So a complex number is a combination of a real and imaginary number. So these types of numbers are also supported by Python, which is suppose 2 plus 3 iota, for example. That okay. Yeah. So these are types of complex number. This is the third type of numeric data type, which is supported by Python. The first was integer, a basic integer type of data. 2.4 is a decimal type of data, and complex is a data which has a real and an imaginary part related to it. Third type of data type we have is called, this is new here, sequence type of data. Sequence type. Which is sequence type. What does the word sequence means, guys? In normal English, if we say sequence means, a sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. This is a complete sequence, right? Collection of multiple things separated by a delimiter. Collection of multiple values separated by a delimiter. What does the term delimiter means? Delimiter means, delimiter is the separator. For example, comma, dot, slash, etc. Whatever is separating. For example, if I'm writing 2, 3, 4, here the delimiter is comma, which is separating different types of values. Okay, so the first type of sequence type here we have is called list. Is a list. List is simply um, a collection of different multiple type of data. I hope few of you must have heard about something called arrays. So list is a collection of multiple types of data. Please focus on the term multiple types. For an example, if I say, as an example, if I say lists are defined inside square brackets, we'll be dealing with each and every of these data types in details in the next upcoming classes. As of now, I'm just giving an overview what are the types of data types available with us. List is defined inside these two square brackets. I can say I have I as my first member, 2 as my second member, 1.2 as my third member, 2 plus 3 iota as my fourth member. So this is a complete list. This is a list of which is having different types of multiple types of data. The second type of sequence data type we have is called a tuple. It's called a tuple, which is again a collection of multiple type of data. It has few differences when compared to list, which we'll be dealing with the upcoming classes. As of now, tuple is it's TUP guys. It's not tuple. It's tuple. Tuple is one more type of data type which can again hold multiple types of data along with them. It is um, enclosed with different. It is enclosed with normal parenthesis. Nothing else. This is one difference with list and tuple. We have multiple differences with list and tuple. List can be appended. A tuple cannot. Few areas we can use tuple. We cannot use list. But that will be dealing later stages. Okay. Third type of data type which we have is range here. It's range here. Range is something. Maybe a question. Mutable and immutable. Yeah, correct. Ankit, you can give in a brief language mutable and immutable, but as of now, I'm not using these technical words because people are new here. So we will be dealing with these words when we'll be discussing each and every of data type in detail. Okay. Range is a key again of a sequence type of data type, which is used to give a range. A range is all the values between two different boundaries. Suppose if I write range 9, so it gives you all the values from 0 to 8. It gives you all the values from 0 to 8. It actually decrements this value, but it's since it starts from 0, so it gives all the values from 0 to 8. And this is most commonly used with something called for loops. We'll come to this later. Okay. The fourth type of data type which we have is called mapping type of data type. What does the term mapping means? Mapping means to map one type of data to another type of data. Suppose a dictionary. A dictionary. That is actually the type of data type we have to deal with. It has a key which is mapped to a value. It has a key which is mapped to a value. Normally, whenever we open a dictionary, an English dictionary, a word is given. Suppose the word is entrepreneurship, and it has a value among with it, which defines its meaning. Similarly, we have in Python a type of a data type which is called dictionary, which is also used with key and value pairs. Which is also used with key and value pairs. So these are the four majorly used data type that we are going to discuss in this complete course. Rest we have one more important type of data type, which is Boolean type, which is going to be used drastically. It is called bool. This normally we encounter some situations where we have to write true or false for a statement. Either we have to say the statement was true, either we have to say the statement was false. So in that case, we normally use the data type called bool with us. So we'll be dealing with, I'll be explaining you with the help of an example. Let's see one by one. Now if I say, yeah, these numeric and text is already clear. Let me show an example of list. Let me name it as li equal to list. Hello 2 3 4.5 print li. Let's see. Also, let's print the type of li. Let's also print li. Let me make one more tuple for you guys as well. It contains welcome 2 3 5.6 something. Let's print the type of t, and let's also print the value. So let's see what happens. So it simply says this is a list. The first thing is the li is a list and it prints me the list, and it says tu is the tuple and it prints me down the tuple. Now let me give an example for print range 9. Let's see. Let's execute it. So it says it gives all the values from 0 to 9, excluding 9. Excluding 9. It does not include 9 at all. Is there just a difference of bracket? No, Parush. There's not only the difference between bracket for tuple and list. We have several many differences. For example, in list, we are allowed to add more values. We are allowed to add more values, but in tuple, we cannot add any more value after defining it. In list, normally we can add more values after defining it. So for example, if I say list append, suppose I want to add welcome, and let me again print it. Let me again print it. Let me do the same here. Append means to add something in the end of the file. Append means to add something at the end of the file. Let me again say welcome and print. Now let's run it. Now if you see, it has raised me an error. Let's come here. So it says, first of all, it prints me down the basic type of the list. It prints me the list. Then it prints me the appended list. It prints me the appended list, which is welcome stuff. But it says I cannot append welcome inside the tuple. I cannot append welcome inside the tuple. So there are multiple more differences which will be going to be encountered later. As of now, I'm just telling you the type of data types which are available with us. Okay. It means I can add values in list at later on stage of the code, but I cannot add any values in the tuple. Is this clear, Purush? Yeah. So yeah, as of now today, we have enough for the day. I guess just go through this completely, all of you, and let me know in case if you guys have any issues. Uh, Tell me anything in case if you guys want to share me something. That is all for today's session. We'll be dealing with more in tomorrow's session. Yeah, one more important thing, guys. Are you guys available in morning tomorrow? When can we get recording? We will be getting recording at the end of the day itself, I believe. For how many days will it take to learn Python? It is going to take few weeks. Will you be giving assignments? Yes, but not in the very first class session. I'll be giving it assignments once I'll be completing a topic. So yes, assignments will also be given in the class. That has to be completed by the next class. So guys, are you available in tomorrow morning? Because can we class in morning in the upcoming days? No, in the upcoming days it is going to be in the evening itself, 9 to 11. But for specifically for tomorrow, in case if you guys are available, because tomorrow evening I have something very important scheduled. So morning time, morning it is 9, maybe um 10 to 12, I believe. Morning in 10 to 12. Porish, can you just try for tomorrow? Actually, it's kind of a request because I have something very much important scheduled. Yeah, yeah, definitely just for tomorrow itself. Normal timings will be 9 to 11 only in the night. That is for sure. Can you make it tomorrow afternoon? At what time do you want me to make it tomorrow afternoon, Lolita? Just give me a number. Yeah, a number. At what time do you want to make it tomorrow afternoon? Anytime after 2 p.m. Yeah, there are students from probably students from US also in schools. So it will be 2 a.m. here. I know Hitesh was so Hitesh, you tell me the perfect timing that is going to be supported. Are you going to be available at tomorrow 10 a.m.? Yeah, actually tomorrow is Janata curfew in India, and I believe that there's going to be something more fussiness in the area. So that is the only reason I'm asking you for tomorrow morning, so that in the early morning we can just end up with the session, and in case if something goes wrong by the end of the day, the class is not suffered at all. That is the actually important thing. Can you skip till next week, please? I don't think so. That will be a good option, Hitesh. Um, guys, uh, so yeah, I'm so yeah, okay. So 10 a.m. in the morning, I believe everyone is available. Just for tomorrow, it is. I'm asking for tomorrow only itself. Don't shift to next week. Yeah, I'm not going to shift it to next week at all. That will be only for tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, everyone is going to join at 10 a.m. sharp. We're going to start the session at 10 to 12. Let me just first of all, okay, I have to confirm the same with Rahul also. I'll update with the timings to everyone in the group, in the WhatsApp group. Whatever the final timings will be in the next 10 to 20 minutes. Just give me 10 to 20 minutes. I'll be updating the correct timing in the group itself. Okay, because might be there. Manoj, you want yourself to be unmuted? Okay, let me unmute you. Yeah, I did it. Manoj, tell me.
Ashish, so can you do you need to? I mean, we're going to cover any like building a project building to like Maven and Jenkins kind of thing in
Pardon?
this. No, no.
Can you
Can
repeat,
you?
Manoj?
Yeah, can you? You are going to cover also Maven and Jenkins in this course.
In Python, yeah, I'll be covering a part of Jenkins, not maybe a part of Jenkins for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Maven, I think it is using for building a code, right, or building
Java
purpose.
application.
So Maven is
Maven
not
is
required for
more
Python.
specifically used for Maven is specifically more used for your Java purpose, but in case of Python, we will be going to use Jenkins for sure. I'll be covering Jenkins.
So for in
Yes.
Python, there is no any building tool for like Maven,
Mm.
any other tool.
We are having its own testing framework, which is PyTest. We're going to cover
Okay.
that testing framework, which is very powerful in its itself. It has multiple
Okay.
functionalities when we're dealing with it. Yeah. So PyTest is all your answers. So yeah.
Okay. And Allure also is going to cover, right? You said in like in demo
Pardon?
classes. Allure, L
Yeah,
L
yeah.
U.
Allure reporting is already a part of this. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Probably
So
you're
this
asking VIP.
yeah.
Pardon?
So this recording going to provide via only you way to automation on
Yeah, yeah,
portal or only
yeah, yeah.
URL
That will
and the
be
last time will get.
No, the recording. The moment the recording is updated on the portal, you guys will get an update so that you can guys go through that complete recording at your own and work accordingly. So yeah,
So when will get the access on portal for this course?
I'll ask Rahul for this. Rahul is going to give you an update on this because Rahul accesses all these portals and stuff. I'll ask him and I'll
Okay,
update
okay,
you.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, sure, sure.
yeah. Thank you, Manoj.
Thank you.
So Praful, pip is used here for installing different packages. Yeah. So Porosh, you're saying you'll be covering Jenkins to kickstart the build automatically. Definitely, we're going to use Jenkins here. So guys, I'll be updating you the timings in the group in the next 10 to 20 minutes by after having a discussion with Rahul. Either it will be 10 a.m. in the morning or I'll update you whatever it goes on. Okay. And anything else? Anyone wants to ask me something? Or we're good to end the session. Yeah, Praveen, you want to ask something, or is it good to end the session from your end? How about tag casting in Python that I'll cover tomorrow, Ashwin? Praveen, I unmute you. Okay, let me do it for sure. It's Praveen K. Where do you have you? Yeah, Praveen, tell me.
Yeah. Ashish, my question is related to Maven only that just someone asked. So, I mean, something related to dependency that can be solved just
Mm-hmm.
like Maven in PyTest.
Yeah, yeah, guys. See, in the very first demo session, I also mentioned to just something. Just, pip is the most commonly used term here. Pip is
Okay.
used as a Maven dependency. Sorry. Like the moment I'll show you tomorrow, I'll show you how this works. The moment the way
Okay.
you write dependencies in an XML file inside Maven, and here in this
Mhm.
case, pip creates its own text file. It writes
Okay.
all the requirements inside the text file, and it executes every time the project is handed over to someone else.
Mhm.
So that
Okay.
is a similar stuff that is done using Maven. Maven is also responsible whenever the code shifts to some another machine. It is responsible to download all the dependency data required for a project. In a similar
Yes.
fashion,
Yes.
Pip executes all the requirement documents, whatever required for the project. I'll show you a demo regarding this stuff in tomorrow's class. Yes,
Okay.
Praful.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Pip is similar to Maven in this Python case. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome, Praveen. Praveen. Yeah. So is it clear, everyone? Sorry, I'm not there actually. Is it clear to everyone? So I'm ending the session as of now for today, and I'll update with the timings, whatever the timings are, in the WhatsApp group, and where everyone is available. Any feedback for me? Anyone, if you want to share something, any feedbacks are always welcome. In case if someone wants to share something. Okay, thank you. So tomorrow, what will be covered? Tomorrow we're going to cover regarding different types of data types only. Tomorrow I'm going to discuss each and every data type in a bit detail, and let's see what else comes in the picture. Okay, yeah. So I'll update the timings in the group itself, either 10 a.m. in the morning or whatever the timing suits on. So thank you guys, thank you everyone. That was a lovely session. It was lovely meeting everyone, all of you available here. So as of now, I'm ending the session. You guys can leave. My name is Ashish Guru. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you guys can leave. We'll be connecting tomorrow again. Updated timings will be updated. Thank you. Have a great time. Stay safe. Stay at home. Bye bye.